Chapter 4 of Muggie Maggie. Maggie had grown bored with not writing cursive, but by now the whole third grade was interested in her revolt. Each day they wanted to see whether she gave in. Her friends talked about it at lunchtime. In the hall, she overheard a fourth grader say, "There goes that girl who won't write cursive." Many people thought she was brave, others thought she was acting stupid. Obviously, Maggie could not back down now. She had to protect her pride. Courtney and Kelly, best friends who sat opposite one another, did not approve of Maggie. Courtney said, "Only first and second graders print." Kelly said, "I think you are acting dumb, Maggie." Joanne whispered from the next table, "If you are having trouble, may I help you on Saturday?" "I am not having trouble," Maggie whispered. "I just don't want to do it." Then she worried. What if others thought gifted and talented Maggie couldn't write cursive if she wanted to? Mrs. Leeper handed out individual papers with each person's name, first and last, written in perfect cursive at the top. "Today we practice our signature," she said, and she looked at Maggie. "Even if we write letters on computers, we must sign them in our own handwriting." Maggie studied her neatly written name. If she wrote Maggie Schultz and not one letter more, would this be giving in? Not really, she decided. Not if she wrote like a grown-up. While Kirby, a boy who always did what he was told, more or less, gripped his pencil, pressing down so hard he broke the point and had to go to the pencil sharpener, and Courtney and Kelly wrote with pencils, whispering daintily across their papers, Maggie wrote her name the way her father wrote his. On the next line she wrote with her left hand, which was difficult. But carefully. Kirby worked so hard that he needed a rest. He pushed the table into Maggie's stomach. Maggie pushed it back. "Mrs. Leeper," said Courtney, "Kirby and Maggie are wrecking our cursive." "They do it all the time," said Kelly. This brought Mrs. Leeper to their table. "See, Mrs. Leeper," said Courtney, pointing. "That is where Kirby pushed the table, and this is where Maggie pushed it back," said Kelly. "I'm sure they won't do it again." Mrs. Leeper tried to look happy as she paused beside Maggie. Maggie quickly curved her arm around her paper and bowed her head as if she were working very, very hard. Mrs. Leeper, who often told the class she had eyes in the back of her head, had already seen Maggie's work. If one could really call it work. "Maggie, why are you writing with your left hand when you're right-handed?" she wanted to know. "That's the way my mother writes," explained Maggie. Mrs. Leeper removed the pencil from Maggie's left hand and placed it in her right hand. "And where are the loops on your G's that we talked about? Your L and T are leaning over backward. We don't want our telephone poles to tip over, do we?" "I guess not," said Maggie. "Take your paper home and do it over," said Mrs. Leeper, "and we must close her A. Your name is not Muggie." Maggie knew she was done for. "Muggie, Maggie," whispered Kirby, as Maggie had expected. "You keep quiet." Maggie pushed the table into his stomach. "Mrs. Leeper," cried Courtney and Kelly at the same time. "I thought we were going to have a happy teacher today," said Mrs. Leeper. "Let's be good citizens." Maggie was sure she would not have a happy recess, and she did not. Everyone shouted, "Muggie, Maggie, Muggie, Maggie." Kirby started, of course. He was not a good citizen. I wanted to show you. Remember I said look closely? You can see both times she signed her name, she didn't close her A. So it does look like Muggie. It does. Poor Maggie.